on this episode of Around the House. The kids and I made a spontaneous stop to the Syracuse Museum. I literally did a U-turn when we saw the cars in their parking lot. We've tried to do a tour here for years, but we always come on the wrong day. So, do the kids love it? And what do they learn about Syracuse? Stick around to find out and subscribe for more fun.
Spicy.
Spicy? You like spicy?
Really super spicy.
Cameron, how's it?
Good. Especially when you dip these into matcha. Mine has egg in it.
I love egg. You have to let me taste it.
Mine has hamburger in it. Where's the some in it? Let me look. Mine has not. Mine has chips in it. Mine has salad in it. Salad? Because this is supposed to be burnt.
I know. Is it so good? This is what I'm excited to try. Yum.
One for each of us.
I think it's like coconut custard, strawberry, chocolate, and I forget that one. Is it banana? It's caramel, vanilla.
This is barbecue.
This is lava.
Is there one for each of us in here?
We're all gonna share them.
That's one that like we each get.
Well, we can each taste them, huh? This is as close as we're gonna get to Hawaii in a long time.
It's a chamber pot that you pee in.
That's what I thought.
And look, Mom, look.
Hi.
John. Hey, come on into the kitchen here.
Okay.
Let's just go in.
I'm just gonna film it all. We'll show John later.
Come in, everybody. Yeah, this is Grandma's kitchen. When I was a little boy, my grandma lived in a house that kind of had these kinds of things. Very little electricity. It's kind of cold in here, isn't it? So, we're looking around. What things here do you not have in your house? Butter churn?
Yeah.
I buy mine at Smith's now.
I don't have this.
I know. Did you see under that thing? Look, there's a hole in the chair. It's a potty chair. Can you believe? Yeah, I know. God, I thought that myself. That's the family bathtub.
Oh, that's tiny.
Yes. So there's no water going into it, no drain. So you would get water. You'd get hot water on the stove, the old wooden stove, the stove that burns wood. Would heat the water,
This?
and you would dump it in there. And I'll tell you in just a minute. And then everybody would take turns in the same old dirty water. I know.
That's why they say don't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Exactly. So this, if you were lucky enough to have water in the house, and my grandma did, but it was only cold water. So go ahead, one of you want to grab that and just pump it. It pumps water from the pump all the way into the house.
Oh, that's so nice.
But all you had was cold water. Get off your car, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
So what it was is you would take hot coals from the stove at night, because you'd be cooking in the stove, and you take the hot coals, when the wood burns down, it turns into these little glowing things. Open it up, you put the coals in there, and it would kind of heat this. You wrap it in a blanket and stick it in the bottom of your bed to keep your toes warm.
That looks like a dollar bill.
It does.
I would like something like that nowadays.
I know. I use the little beanbag thing,
Oh, yeah.
microwave every night. So this is the refrigerator. Go ahead and open that up. It was called an ice box. I lift it one hand. You would put a big block of ice in there, and then you would close the door, and then the ice would get that. Go ahead and close it there. So the ice would get it all cold, and then the cold, down here you would put your milk and your meat and your butter, and it would keep it cool. Not cold, but cool.
There's a hole right there.
Yeah. And the ice, as it melts, it drips, and it goes good. I'm glad you did that, because underneath is a pan. The ice will eventually drip through in the pan. And then with the pan of water, you don't waste it. You take it and you might stick it in the bathtub. You might take it outside and put it on the plants or something, but you just kind of careful. This is the iron. Go ahead and pick that up. It's like, this is the muscle builder. In fact, I have another one over here.
Careful.
These old irons,
Here, there's one.
really heavy.
Ooh, and
So-
burn your hand.
You see
Wait,
it?
do you like have to like set this on like something hot?
The hot stove.
Yeah.
Good question. I was going to ask you that. So before you could iron your clothes, you had to have a fire in the stove to get everything hot. And when you got it hot, then you had to bring it over
Oh,
here.
it just drops on this forehead
That'd be-
or forehead. It will just like hit.
Oh, you're right. I'll put it back on the stove because that's hot. So that's how you would iron your clothes. Really slow. Here, can you tell me what that is?
That's the waffle.
It is exactly. That's the waffle.
Hey, we
maker.
have it. Actually looks like the waffle stuff that we have.
I know. Yes. There's no electrical cord though, is there? So you get it hot on the stove, and you know what that was for?
Wait, but we made an electric kit.
Popcorn.
Popcorn, that's right.
It's a popcorn maker.
Wait, you need electricity to start a fire.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
Actually, you did just wood.
Just
So you
need wooden.
put your popcorn in there. Not that many years ago, I was in another country for a couple years, and people were just then using that. That was
I've seen people use that.
1969.
Oh my goodness.
Just using it.
What is this stuff over here?
Well, this is a little fancy. You can see it's called parts. This is a waffle iron.
Oh, and there's the laundry room.
The laundry room? I'll show you. I'm glad you asked.
He has lots of questions.
Do you guys know what this is? This is when you take one of your
Ice.
kids out of the.
Coffee.
Oh, yeah, that's right, ice. So, people to keep their food cold needed ice. So a guy would come by with a horse-drawn buggy, like a wagon, and have straw in it. If you move the straw out of the way, there'd be ice chunks from the lake. And so you would take this, pick up the ice, carry it in the house, and put it in the ice box.
I've seen on the Frozen movie. The people use that to pick up the ice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what this is? This is how you make butter.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yep. So
Can I try?
if you go to the grocery store and buy cream in a bottle, dump it in there, and you guys take turns stirring it, it will turn solid and it'll turn into butter. So what color is real butter? White. Why is it yellow in the store? I think it's artificial.
These are just coloring.
I think we seem to like yellow
Wait,
more
what
than
is
white.
this right here?
Not with their teeth.
No, butter out of there. You kind of jam it in there and squeeze it in there, and then your butter is shaped.
Is this the
But to get it out, you take that and you go, and the butter pops out.
What's this?
Isn't that nuts?
Yeah, that's so.
That is a bar of soap. So do you guys want to see the laundry room?
Yes,
All right, come right around the corner. You're almost there. Almost.
Oh, this is for the laundry.
This is it right here.
Oh.
So when your mom washed clothes on Monday, by the way, it was always Monday. My mom told me.
Oh.
So you'd stick your clothes, you'd heat the water on the stove in a big pan, dump the water in, get your clothes by hand, and move it back and forth and back and forth. And you could use there's soap that you bought in the store, or like some soap right here on there. You can touch that if you want. This is
Touch it,
old
honey.
soap. That's old soap.
Why is there a vending machine down right there?
What's that?
That's real.
Oh, that's yes, grandma. That's grandma.
We tried doing this before at This Is the Place, and we got to like wash.
Did you get to do it? So to get the water out of it, you would stick it in here. This thing is kind of heavy, but I'm going to move it around like this. And it sticks on the side there. And you would stick your clothes in there and turn it, and that would wring the water out.
Could I turn?
You can, but you never want to get your finger in there.
No.
Because it
I
will
was gonna-
squeeze your finger and pull it in. Ouch. Yeah, so that would wring the water out, and the clothes would go into clean water there, and then you would wring it out again, and take them outside and hang the clothes outside on a big string, so the wind would dry your clothes.
Did they wash their clothes outside too? Or did they wash it inside?
Mom said they always did it inside
They did it inside.
because you had the hot water there.
Oh, okay.
Where's the farm?
I'll take you there in just a minute. Boy, you gotta. I wanted to show you one other thing.
Yeah.
This is this thing that's buried in it is when moms begin to get electricity in the house, this was a washing machine they would get. They would stick their clothes inside there, and the motor would just make it slosh around.
I guess it's like arm wash.
Then you would stick your clothes, then you stick your clothes to there and squeeze the water out. Now, this was dangerous because you get your fingers caught in there. I have a huge scar under my arm because I was helping my mom one day. She was outside and I thought, I'll help Mom bring out the clothes.
Oh no, do you remember that?
I just remember the hospital. And it just pulls your arm right in.
Oh my goodness.
And my mom always bought White King D soap because inside was a glass or a plate. And that would add to your collection of plates and glasses.
Wow.
Always bought White King D.
Oh, that's so neat.
Isn't that funny what they do for promotions?
Yes.
Do you want to see it? Oh, this also want to show you this. This crazy thing here, you might have in your kitchen. You could sit down on it to read or cut up vegetables. But you could also take it and flip it up. And that was the ironing board.
That looks like a diving board.
A
Diving board.
I mean, not a diving board.
You
It's
surfboard.
surfboard.
You could. Yeah, it's shaped like a surfboard, isn't it? So come
And
on
it
in. I'll
looks
show
like
you
a
our
diving
two-headed
board.
cat.
Oh.
Wait, this is the fun.
Oh,
Come right in here. And I'll show you some things.
wow. How would that be to have two heads?
This calf was born in Syracuse. Two calves. It was about a 2.5-hour delivery. It did not survive.
Aww.
But isn't it pretty?
Yeah.
Pretty little brown calf. So if you have two heads, what's the advantage of having two heads?
Like you can
Two brains.
and you can see a lot.
You can see both directions. You can eat twice as much pizza.
What? This one want to go this
Yeah,
way,
you
this
can
one
look
want
both ways.
You can also look
Ladies
straight.
in our neighborhood painted all these walls for us.
That's so neat. I love it.
Hey,
They're all
that's a
grandmas about that age.
Oh, really?
So I want to show you. Here's the cow. If you want to milk a cow, go ahead, grab
Milk
the udder,
the
just
cow.
squeeze it. I'll get out of the way. I guess the battery's not good at this because it moves.
Oh, look. It actually squeezes it out.
You got some water coming out?
Good job, guys. Kind of gonna squeeze and pull, right?
Yeah. On this one you just squeeze. You know what?
Oh, you just squeeze?
Maybe it's out of water.
Oh.
Last Saturday we
This
had
one's not. Right here.
an open house
Squeeze this
and a
one. Squeeze this one.
winter
Cammy, this one has
festival,
water.
and we had hay rides and things for
Get him,
all the
squeeze
kids to
this
do.
one. Squeeze this one.
We had over 200 kids. This probably is about out of.
Oh, yeah. And it's supposed to be a milk bucket. This all fills up with water in here?
And actually, we fill the bucket. There's a little pump that goes back from the cow's leg,
Oh, that's neat.
and eventually it just kind of smooths it out. What do you think?
Wow.
My dad had 7 of these things, and I got 4 I didn't like them. Every night, after school and before school.
Oh.
So this bucket has a nipple on the front, just like the cow does, right? So when you wanted to feed a baby calf, we'll take this off the calf. And I'll tell you about this little thing.
Wait, so you put the mom's milk in
You
there?
put the mom's milk in there, exactly.
And that's the mom's?
And then you hang this on a
that's
fence,
finally why.
and the baby calf comes over and drinks the milk, just like out of a bottle. And boy, when it drinks, its tail flips around. They are so excited.
Do they still use these?
They do. We had them, and they still work. So when you're trying to break the calf from nursing on the mom, you put this on the calf. This goes on the calf there. So when the calf gets up to the mom and cow and nurses, this push in and those little pointy things hit it in the nose.
Oh, that doesn't feel good.
And
yeah.
so the calf pretty soon doesn't want to do that anymore. So anyway, we'll take that brutally
Wow.
thing off. So this, you know that butter churn we had inside? This is a mammoth butter churn. It's really old.
Whoa.
You pour cream in there,
Oh, it looks like a baby could fit
and
in
then it's
it.
like a baby cradle. You just rock it.
That would make a lot of butter.
That makes a lot of butter. I don't know what you're gonna do with all that butter. You're gonna have
We're
to do
probably gonna have it for like a month.
popcorn. So if you want to make, here's another little butter churn right over here.
Oh, smaller.
Let me take the lid off. This is really a pretty little butter churn. You can turn the handle. Turn the handle on the side. And look at all that.
Did I try?
So the cream would just slosh around until it gets hard and turns into butter.
Yum.
Have you guys been in the chicken house before?
You've never been here, huh?
Come on in. We have one little light. Go in, and I'll flip the little light in there, and you can see we have a few chickens that might be asleep in there.
Really? Oh.
Sort of.
Sort of.
Just have to keep going in the dark and I'll flip the light. If I can find
Is
it.
this the light
That's
right
it. Yep, somewhere on the handle there's a little button. There you go.
Go.
Are there real chickens?
Well, they're real fake chickens.
Look
We
how
have real
big that
fake
egg
chicken
is.
eggs up here.
How big that one is. Oh.
You guys ever have chickens at your place? Raise chickens?
No.
Oh, you can. They're fun.
Oh.
Yep.
Wait, why are the eggs stuck in there?
Well, it's so that it won't go away.
Wow.
Oh, this is a big giant egg.
The ostrich, the big ostrich bird, that's the side of the egg.
It was that side of it.
Yes.
Wait,
This
look
is a
how
goose.
tiny that egg
A
is.
goose.
The sparrow.
So if you want your chickens to get up early in the morning to start laying, you have a wind-up clock like this. And as you wind up the clock, this is the electricity. As you wind up the clock, the string will wind around here, and eventually the string gets tighter and tighter, and that goes over like that, and it connects the electricity, turns the light on. So if you want the lights to come on at 4 in the morning, you just kind of figure it out.
Oh my
The
goodness.
lights will come on, and the chickens wake up and start moving around and
Where's
start laying.
this egg come from? This one? That's an extra.
Extra large egg.
Yep, you can weigh your eggs. Here's a little thing that you could put the eggs in, and you can figure out how much they weigh, and then you could put it in a box,
What's
whether it was
this?
big or extra big.
This.
Oh, the little metal thing.
Well, that's where the chickens would eat and get their food. They would stand there, and there's one outside the door here too. Right
Can I see? Yeah. Wait, is it this one?
This is what it is, except you didn't have plastic. The plastic is to keep the food in there. But the chickens jump up here and stand on here and stick their head in there, and they love little rocks. Chickens love oyster seeds and rocks. It helps them digest the food.
What was that?
Oh, that's the heater. So let me show you how to work a French fry machine.
Oh, French fries.
French fries.
Oh my goodness.
All right, buddy, I'm going to put you up here, okay? So,
wanna go up there
on the count of 3.
One, two.
Oh, my head, what was I thinking? All right, so I'll kind of hang on to it. So you hook your horse to the front, and as this pulls through the field and bounces around like this,
It probably gives
What
you
are
a butt on
these?
the side too.
potatoes. And what's the little thing on the side called?
Oh,
Oh,
French fries have potatoes in the middle.
They're called an eye.
I have a potato.
An eye of a potato. So every piece here has an eye. This is what makes the potato grow, that little eye. So you stick it in here. As this moves down the road, all of this turns. The potato falls in the hole. Down there, it digs a hole, puts the potato in the ground, and then these discs cover the dirt up. So all at once, it digs a hole, plants a potato, and covers it up. And that's where you get French fries.
Oh.
All right, buddy, on the count of 3. 1, 2, and a half.
You should try growing potatoes. We've never tried
They're
potatoes.
fun to grow. They really are fun. They take a lot of
Do you guys have
give about
food
that
here?
much space for one plant.
Oh my goodness. It's fun. We should try
Look
it.
at the horse.
Did you see the horses?
Look, it's a dog. Look, there's two horses.
Oh, yeah. Hey, you guys want to flip the hay at the chest around there?
Yeah.
This is when you stack the hay on the top of the haystack. You had to have one of these things.
Oh,
Hey,
wow.
is this real hay?
That's straw. This is the light version of hay.
Is this real? Oh.
This derrick would swing around. You'd have a horse hook to it and it'd swing it around. You'd raise it up about 25 feet in the air and put the bale on the top, and then someone would stack it.
Oh, okay. Wow. I wonder if they ever tried using this with other things like bags of flour and.
You know, probably because it
Mom,
makes
look
sense.
at Tatum.
Whoa!
Hold on, drop.
All right.
Funny.
Lived around Syracuse, and they would eat your chickens. They would sneak in at night. This is a fox. This is a raccoon. And these things would sneak into your chicken house and eat your chickens.
Do they still have quite a few of these out
They're
here?
still around.
Yeah.
Still
I
around.
thought I saw one the other day.
Especially the raccoons.
Yes, I see those all the
Oh,
time.
man.
On the side of the road.
Oh, yes, that's where I like to see them. You know when they opened the new
I
the
see-
highway Legacy 10 years ago or so?
Yeah.
You'd
One
have-
time I saw a raccoon digging in the garbage.
Oh. So you'd see 15 and 20 a day. They're just because they're so used to crossing the road.
Oh, that is.
Wait, what
You know,
is
I wondered
that?
also about the pheasants. They seem to be less and less. Once in a while, I'll see one on Bluff.
It's
I'll
a treat anymore to see 'em.
We once saw pheasant.
it flew right over our car, and we just were amazed.
They are beautiful. I saw one about a month ago out here. I was taking my dog to be trimmed, and on the way back, I saw the pheasant on the way back. It was on the road again. I thought, oh, they're so cute anymore.
Yeah, that's
Mom,
so sweet.
didn't Grandpa used to shoot
Grandpa's a
pheasants?
pheasant hunter. But he's down in San Pete County.
Oh, yeah. So, what is this thing over here? Come around here and tell me what this thing is in here. I'll move this out of the way. You get one guess. I'm done. What is this?
Wait, a pig.
It is.
hog.
I thought that was a cow person.
It's a hog, a pig.
Honey, no
Mom,
more.
stop dropping that.
Every farmer has one of these because this is your family garbage disposal. At the end of your meal, when you've got stuff, you know, we just take it to disposal or we dump it in the garbage.
And the
Instead of
pig
that, you
eats
would
all
take
of it.
everything out to feed the pig.
This pig looks like a cow.
It's a big pig. Yeah, most pigs are brown. So
Or
on my
pink.
9th birthday, how old are you, buddy?
Okay.
5. How old are you?
9.
9. So on my 9th birthday, my friends came over and we played a few games, just boy guys, and we ran out of things to do, so we went out to my dad's pig and we rode the pig.
Did the pig like
It seemed
throw
like a
you
good
out?
idea at the time.
But it wasn't.
Well, everybody walks in the house and it's like, what is on?
It's mud.
Mud. Anyway, so what do we get from pigs? If we feed the pigs our leftovers, what do the pigs give us?
What did you just have for lunch?
What did you have?
Pork.
There you go.
Wait, don't they die to...
Bacon.
Bacon.
Yep. Bacon, pork, pepperoni. Well, I don't know what that.
Wait, what is pork?
Pork. Yep, that's
You
for.
just had it on your nachos just now.
Did you?
We all have it. Jelly sauce?
So that's why we have
It's
pigs.
the meat. The meat.
Yeah, it's the meat.
Yeah.
Alrighty, let me take you and show you this wagon.
Around the horse.
Come see the doctor's buggy.
This is what this buggy looked like about 3 years ago. When a guy down the street said, "Hey, you guys want my old buggy?" It's been sitting outside for who knows. So, so we worked on it for about a year, and we've got it restored. We had to have these wheels made in, I think, oh gosh, somewhere in the Midwest. They still make these wheels.
Wait, can we get on here?
I don't think so.
You know what? Do you want to get in there?
Yeah.
Okay, let me take these things out.
Well, look at the
We were in the
horse.
parades last year with a
Look, you're supposed
horse.
to step on that thing.
I'm gonna take these out, and
We
you.
probably saw it then.
It did. It went by. So hop in there. We have a good small group. That's what small groups are for. This is a doctor's buggy.
Wow.
It fit like one guy and his lunch.
It's like Dr. Baker and Little House on the Prairie.
There you go. Yep.
Wow.
Pretty cool. See the whip there?
Wow.
There's a whip right
Oh,
there.
you whipped the horse.
You get the horse to make him move. You never hit him hard. You just tapped him a
Oh,
little
that's
bit.
hard, honey.
Yeah, you tapped him just enough to get his attention.
Careful, just a little bit.
Like this?
Yeah, maybe.
And that would get the horse to kind of wake up and get moving.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, no, no. Oh, no, 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 no.
So there's a guy named David Cook. When he was 14, he came here with a horse and a plow and a small wagon. And he came by himself out here from the Ogden area, and he started to farm. He was the only person out here, and he stayed here a year by himself. So if they plowed it, then they could claim it as theirs.
Really? Oh.
This was some of the last farm ground because this wasn't great farm ground.
Wait, what's that?
Do you know where the bluff is? How it goes?
What's that red thing over there?
That's
We'll figure it out.
we'll figure it out. Anyway, that was the better farm ground down there. That's where they originally farmed because there was water.
Okay.
So none up here.
Can we get in this cart?
No, you can't. So eventually they moved it here because the alkali rose to the top and ruined all the ground. So they came back up here to farm.
Oh, wow.
Once they found water. Do you know where the cemetery is over here? Yeah. That's where they first found their first clean water.
Oh, really? Is there still a well?
There is still a well there. Yeah, and I think they use it. Come on over here, I'll show you Walmart.
Come see Walmart.
So this is Walmart in Syracuse.
Oh, like the Olsen's Mercantile.
Come on in. Yeah.
Central Mercantile.
Yep, I'll show you that. Just come on inside here.
Wow. They're good.
When you went into the store, there really wasn't that much. There was just a few things. There was clothing, cloths, so your mom could make a skirt or a dress or a shirt. There were things here that occupy the brothers.
If we go inside that fire,
I'll let you stand on. But there were a few things you could buy in the store. Not a lot. Let me show you the old cash
what?
register.
Whoa.
What? Go ahead. Yeah, look at those roller skates. Aren't those just the strangest things you've ever seen?
What's up there?
Here's the cash register.
Whoa.
And that's where you'd put your money in, and they would make change and give it back, and then they would close it.
Wait, is this real gumbos?
Those, yeah, about 25 years ago.
Yeah, they're old.
Wait, so you
Yeah.
like press one of it and
Uh-huh.
it comes up?
Yep, if you're going to buy something for 90 cents, you'd push the thing that says 90, and then that would open, and that would tell you and the people on that side how much it cost you.
Wow.
And then they'd give you your money, and you'd give them the dime. They'd give you $1, and you'd give them a dime back, and then they'd close it.
They were even. There was no tax. Like
There was no
22.
tax. We had no tax. Amazing, no tax.
Amazing.
It's one of these holes that you get in.
That's one of those. That's where baby. That's where your little baby brother or sister would.
Would sit.
They would trap him in there, and they couldn't get too far. Yeah.
Can we say that?
All right. Let me show you the first cell phone. We all do one of those. This is the first telephone in Syracuse. The very first telephone.
Hey, isn't that on Little House on the Prairie?
So you'd pick it up, hold that to your ear, and you would wind that crank up, and it would send an electrical signal to an operator somewhere, and she would say, "Number, please." So the number at your house might be 25, and my number at my house might be 19. So I would ring the operator, and she'd say, "Number, please," and I'd go 25, and she would ring, and your house, the phone at your house, those little bells would ring. Ding, ding, ding. And you'd answer, and we'd talk to each other like that.
So we wish our phone number was just 25.
Yeah.
Easy to remember.
Yep. Your cell phone.
Instead of like, it's
All right, buddy. Here we go. This is the very first fire truck in Syracuse. This was the hat. Anybody home? Hello. Hello. Anybody home? Nobody home. All right. So we had a volunteer fire department when I was here. So if there was a fire, you'd hear a big siren downtown, and everybody that was volunteers would hurry, quit what they're doing, drive down there, jump in a truck, and drive out to wherever the fire was burning.
Oh my goodness. They still do
Yes.
that in my husband's hometown in Germany. The
Oh,
fire departments are all volunteer.
still.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah.
That is the siren. What kind of sound did it make?
Do it, Tatum. Make the sound.
It sounds like those tornado sirens.
Yeah, sort of like that.
Sort of like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we're starting to put together some old car things.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the old gas station.
Tatum, look, the gas station.
You would pull in there, and you'd pull up, and the guy would lift this up. Oh, it'll be hooked in there. And he'd stick it, he'd say, "How many gallons do you want? Not how much do you want it?
Look at these
How many
cars.
gallons?" And you'd say, "Fill her up." Or you would say, 3 gallons. And so he would pour until it would say there would be 3 gallons, and then he'd stop. And then
Look at these cars.
he'd tell you how much you paid.
Cool.
They'd wash your windows on your car. They would open the hood on the car and check the oil and check your water. They always do that. Always.
And now it's
Oh no.
self-serve.
When it went to self-serve, that was the end of that.
Wow.
Do you guys any of these things?
Oh, wait, is this a fire wheel?
That goes on your car. That's your
Is that
fancy.
like a drill?
It's exactly that is a drill.
Good job.
And if you were working on your car, you might need a little drill. I think I saw this at my dentist's office. I'm just really sure. Something like that.
Drilling on someone's teeth.
Uh-huh. Here's a wrench to take a big square bolt off. That was kind of an all-in-one wrench. Look at all these little things that would fit on. So pretty interesting, odd little things, but that's just kind of how
we
it
could
was.
keep these cars.
Are those are old Hot Wheels.
Yep.
Wait, Mom, could you lift me up so I could see like the bottom?
see?
Let me bring it down now. This belongs to I'll bring it down so you can see.
Wait, can you like pick them up?
No.
I'll tell you what, can you hold it in your hand real careful? Just
Yeah,
real
'cause
careful.
they're
These
special.
are really old. They're made of metal. These aren't even plastic. These are made
So
These
neat,
are
Tatum.
really
What year do you think?
Oh, I wish I could keep
Boy,
these.
I don't know. These are old, especially when they're made of metal.
Maybe Grandpa Roger played with these when he was little.
Could be. So your husband is from Germany.
Yeah.
That's such a neat place.
Yeah, it is.
My wife and I went there 3 years ago. We spent a week there. We went to Italy a week, England a week, France. Now this one's not from here, but they would make hollow wooden things wrapped with steel, and that's how you get water.
Oh, we saw that. Remember when we went to Mayfield and Grandpa we were metal detecting on our old ancestors' land. They had a mill, and we found pipes like this when we were metal detecting.
Wow.
Yeah.
So was there any wood left?
Yeah, the wood's still there and the metal.
What does this button do?
Well, there used this little speaker would come on, and it was a recording. It would tell you about these old wooden things.
Hold on, buddy.
You want to know what's in there?
He's fast.
Are you ready for this?
Wait, but what's this really good?
That is when this was what you would put oil for your car.
Oh.
If you had to have oil in your car to keep the motor working good, they would pump this oil, and it would pump it into one of these, and then they would pour it into your car.
Oh.
So this was a storage tank.
Wow.
Probably hold about 50 gallons of oil. These are hubcaps. You asked me a question I didn't answer.
Oh,
These
Tatum.
go on the side of the tire to make it look fancy. This was off a Chevrolet. See that little emblem? That's the emblem for the Chevrolet. Fancy.
What do you do on those cars?
That's an old pickup truck.
Wait, and were you on those cars?
Did they have them on those cars? Is that what you're asking?
They did. They did.
Wait, when did you have these pickup trucks?
That was in the 1960s. And that would have been a new truck to me. Let me show you. Since we were a farming town, everybody was farmers. Things would break down. Oh, in fact, I want to show them the stove.
Yeah.
Let me show you a kitchen stove.
Okay.
This is where your mom would cook your food. This was the oven where she baked.
Wow.
And this is where you open up and you put wood in there to burn, to get it hot. And once you got it, my grandma was an expert pie cooker, and she would get the oven hot, she would open it and put her hand in there, and she could tell whether it was the right temperature to cook the pie, just by sticking her hand. And she could cook the pies. And then, if you wanted to add more wood, I served an LDS mission in New Zealand at 68, and they still cooked on these.
Oh, wow. Our nephew is in New Zealand right now.
Is he? Oh, what part, do you know? Northern part, southern part?
Oh my goodness. I can't even.
Wellington?
Yes, Wellington. Yep.
That's my mission.
Yep. He loves
Wellington
it.
mission.
So we get an email every Monday.
I miss that place. Beautiful. Okay, do you guys know what this is?
Well, I got hurt right here.
Can you imagine the size of the horse that took?
I've seen super big horses.
Well, this would fit on a super big horse. In fact, some of the biggest ones I saw were in, what's the city? Where they have Oktoberfest in Germany.
Munich.
Munich.
Yeah, we saw them there too. Remember when we went up to the south of their the
How big
Neuschwanstein
are
Castle?
horses feel
And they
like
had those
this?
big horses carrying
Big
people down the mountain.
This is the kind. So tell me why the horseshoe was shaped like this. Because this fit on the bottom of their foot like that. Why? What did these things here do?
Like help them walk.
Yes, you know when you look at your like baseball cleats and they have little spikes on it so you
Because
can
that's so you
get a grip? That's what these were for. So the horse could get a grip as they would pull your wagon. So every little farm town had to have a blacksmith shop where he could repair things that broke on your farm. And so all these things are from there. So we saw these beautiful cows in where we at in Germany.
Yeah.
That have these big leather straps with the bell.
Why is this locked?
You can open it up. Yep, you can go in there. This is the blacksmith shop. Go ahead and go in there. Look around. Poke around. That's why we're here today.
Wait, this is the locker. This is the locker.
It's a locker.
That's a locker. So tell me what this big round thing here is. Do you know what this is?
Cars like to make your knife.
Wow.
Yes. So there's a place to sit on there. You want to climb on there? In fact,
Camry.
maybe I better help.
Camper, you want to climb on there?
Come on here, I'll show you how it works. You open that up, all right? So, if you sent your tools to the blacksmith and you needed them sharpened, you can sit on there. Can you climb on there? It's kind of a high You can do it. All right. All right, there's pedals in there, just like a bicycle. All right, we're gonna get the wheel going and start it by hand. All right, now I'm gonna bring my axe in, and I'm gonna sharpen it, just like that.
Wow.
And that really puts an edge on it.
Oh.
So, your different farm machinery and things. This is a fingernail clipper. Not really, this is for cutting weeds down. But you can get on this big monster and you can sharpen your stuff. This would be a big fire that they could superheat your horseshoes, get them hot, and shape them to fit your horse.
Wow.
This is a rock. This is made from a rock.
It's a navy.
A stone. This is a little stone. I don't know how in the world they would ever cut that to make that fit. That is a stone.
I think they do have places like towns with
Fire and get things really hot.
Wow. All right, hurry and give it a try.
It's got stuff on it.
Yeah, it's easy. You need some help? I think you got it, but I'll tell you what, we're going to spin this till it comes up, and that'll help you.
There you
Get up
go.
there.
Got it?
1, 2, 3. This is not fall and break the cheese. This is not what we want to do. Check out the city's insurance. All right, you got it?
Hey, those are horses' shoes.
Oh, you're right. Right there. All right, put your feet on there and push down.
Good job, bud.
All right, you got it. You gotta keep it going. Yep. Push, push. Keep that stone rolling.
But what does that do when you put the axe on it? It
All right.
sharpens
The
it.
stone sharpens the steel.
But what is the sharpen supposed to do for it?
This
want
is
it
so you
sharp.
could- Like you could cut wood, and so you need it to be
Remember the
sharp.
game that we played yesterday at Chuck E. Cheese? How the guy had that?
Oh, he chopped the trees down. Yep.
Yes. This is when if you put a big handle on it, this is for digging in
Hey, I
the
put
earth.
this for 1 foot.
You got it with 1 foot.
I use 1 foot.
There you go. All you need is a brick wall from the side to hold on to.
Can we try sharpening it?
There's the insurance right down the tube. All right, just like that.
Wow. Wow. We should get one of those for our kitchen knives.
Yeah, you guys need one of these. Put it in the, yeah. You got it? Yep, just like that. Go ahead, sis. We're gonna get the stone going. There you go. All right, just like that. You got it? And that's how you do it. You can also sharpen your teeth if you need it, like you need steak or something.
That wouldn't hurt.
All right, you put that away. All right. Oh, we got a nice edge on that. This is the steel part of the wagon wheel. Making a wheel was a really hard trick. Let's see, do we have a picture anywhere? I guess we don't. Making a wheel for a wagon, this would be the outside. And that machine there was to help make that bend, make the bend so it's right. If it wasn't smooth, can you imagine a wagon going down the road? If it wasn't smooth, boom, boom, boom. Anyway, in this next room, we have 1,000,000 books. I'll find the light and go in there. Wander in the dark, and I'll find the light.
This looks like Granny's room.
This is
Granny's room?
Whoa, look at this chair.
So what is that chair made out of?
Oh my goodness.
This looks like a
Horseshoes. It's made out of horseshoes.
Horseshoes. There's a bazillion horseshoes that go in there. Can you believe it? So we used to have a hamburger place here in Syracuse across the street called Jim's Sports Center. And we got a few things out of the old Jim's Sports Center.
Oh, this looks like you
You
could
could buy
put a
French
cup in
fries.
here. The hole.
Well, you can fill it here. You could buy French fries and a hamburger for 25 cents.
Nice.
Not bad, huh?
When did that close down? Or when did they get rid of it?
Probably about 25 years ago.
It's hot. Right?
In fact, he is still alive. Yeah, there's a heater on.
Hey, this looks like.
He came
Hey,
here about a month ago, and I got a
I
chance to talk to him.
I've ate these
It's just
before.
interesting. He was a character.
Oh my goodness.
He
You
was-
remember eating there?
No, that was before my time, but the building was still there. Now it's all tore down. We've got gas stations.
It's really next door down.
Yeah, there's no building tore down. So there used to be a Boy Scout band here. And I'll just point this out. These instruments came from it. So these young boys would work in the fields in the 1920s. And Mr. Rentmeister was the farmer, and at lunchtime, he would make these boys learn to play instruments on their lunch break. And they became the 1920s Syracuse Boy Scout Band.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, something to do, huh?
That is so neat.
So this is some of the old instruments. Have you ever been to a sugar beet dump?
No.
So they grew sugar beets here.
Oh.
That was a big money maker in Syracuse. And they would haul the wagons with the sugar beets. It was a really hard thing to grow, and you'd dig them and pick them by hand and throw them in a wagon one at a time. It was such a hard job. But they'd ship them to a beet dump, and then they would process them down into.
Where's the turns on building?
This is this is an old barber shop.
It's kind of like it. This is the place.
Oh, this is
Car. That's what it looks like.
this is where men came to get their hair cut. Come on in. And believe me, only men. Women never came here.
Oh,
Only men.
where did women get their hair done? They just did. Oh, yes. Okay.
And men had to have a place to go.
That's right. That's
All
why
right,
there's a
I'm
deer
going to
hut.
show you. All right, buddy, we're going to give you a haircut. You ready to jump? You are not a light guy. Oh my gosh. All right, we're going to jump in this chair.
I don't actually want to get my hair.
Okay.
Oh, honey.
So if you were a young man, you can sit right there if you want.
Do it, honey. It's just for fun. Just for fun.
We're not going to cut. We're just going to get your picture. So this is where you'd come, you'd sit there, and a barber would get his razor, and you'd go, buzz, and then he would give you a haircut. And when he would get done, then he would take something really smelly. I'll show you. Something really smelly like this stuff here.
Oh my.
And he'd put it on his hand, put a whole bunch on his hand, and then he'd rub it all over your head. So when you came from the barber shop, everybody could smell you'd been to the barber shop because you always smelled the same.
Wow.
So while you're waiting to get your hair cut, you'd sit and read the paper. In fact, I don't know if you ever read the comics, but here's the 1950s Blondie and
Yeah, we
Dagwood.
heard about that.
Oh yeah.
These are the original comics, 1950.
That is so neat.
Yeah.
I was kind of like that.
So you'd sit and read Saturday night, or the
I want to get it.
Saturday Evening Post was always, everybody got these in their house.
Oh yeah.
And you'd sit and read those and talk, chit chat. No women, never.
Mom,
Talk about hunting and
Anything.
anything.
Buy
I
things,
want to go in there.
cars.
Cars.
I want to go in.
You want to go in there?
Climb on over.
I don't know. You can do
Climb on
it.
over.
You're in tumbling. You can.
Oh, then you ought to do this.
You
Hit
can.
the floor and just roll. There's no rocking chair. Oh, yeah, I guess this is a rocking chair. Try that out. Tell me what that feels like. 1970s.
Wow. Good job.
I could do it easily.
Grandma Beth was a barber. She was a licensed barber.
Oh, really?
My mom. Yeah.
This is
Oh,
where
this
you hang
is
your
seat
hat.
is cold.
When you walked in, you take your hat off and you'd hang it right there.
Hey, this seat is cold.
Is it cold? Yeah, we don't have any heat on in here. So this was the barber shop, and when you get done, you would open the thing like this, and you'd sweep it up and stick your hair in there. In fact, there's still some hair in there.
Oh my goodness.
Wait,
You'd stick
did
your hair
there
till the end
used
of the
to
day.
not, wait, back then, did there not used to be a fence like right here? No, that's just for me.
Oh, and if you needed a shave,
Oh, wow.
you would take one of these things, and you would shave your whiskers off. Your head. He would put foam on your face, and then he would just scrape the whiskers off like that. Very sharp. And he would sharpen this on this.
Oh.
Get it nice. This is called a strop. This is what your dad always threatened to beat you with, but never did. That would make the blade sharp, and then you could cut your whiskers off.
Wow.
So this is where guys came.
That was so neat.
This
You
was a big deal.
see these tiles, these on the ceiling?
Yes.
My husband's grandpa, from what he always tells me, whenever we see these, he invented those. He designed them, but he never got it patented or whatnot over in
Oh.
Germany. And then someone else did it, and they just took off.
There you go.
So yeah, so in their house they have
this?
these,
He
has a
and
good
they
idea.
were
What's
his
this right
design.
here?
This is, this is a little stone also for sharpening the blade. That's really nice. So you want to see one of the best business, best buildings on the farm? Come on out, I'll show you one of the most important
What's
places
this
on the
one
farm.
right there?
That made it great.
Where you come to think.
This is And you know what? I don't see the key on here. This is the outhouse. The key's not on here. But inside there we have a mannequin sitting. And a little sign that says something about, can you take your, hey, leave me alone, I got my thing. Let's go look in the cabin.
Yeah.
I think I have a key to the cabin.
What's the one that I said? Slushy.
Yeah, it's slushy.
So people do this little Pokemon game. They're here day and night. We have a Pokemon thing hidden in this whole harvester. And they're here day and night.
Oh, how funny.
Let's see. I've got the right key for this. I do. All right, come on in. When you go in, I want you to find out where the family room is, the kitchen is, the living room.
The upstairs.
Yeah.
The cellar.
So the Wilcox family lived in here. They had 10 kids,
Listen, Matt.
but they did not have all 10 here at one time.
No,
we had just down here.
Hey, is that the attic?
That's the attic. So they did have 4 or 5 kids when they lived in here. So 1 bedroom, well, no bedrooms,
Wow.
and it was pretty tight. That door just takes you outside.
Yeah, this would be like the
Yeah, the
entertaining
family.
room.
Yeah.
Entertain.
And that's the dining room.
Right.
And that's the kitchen.
Kitchen, very tiny.
And that's the bedroom.
Laundry.
So of the 10 kids, about 3 years ago, a really old grandma in her 90s came through with her daughters. She is in this picture here.
Wait, are they really?
This is her right here in the middle.
Are the kids still alive right now?
She came through. She
Yeah.
lived in this house, and she has since passed away.
Oh,
But she was the last of the Wilcox kids to ever live here.
Wow.
But this was her home.
And where was this located?
This was in originally Kaysville, and then moved somewhere out in this
Wait,
area.
are the kids still alive right now?
You know, they're all gone.
Is that butter?
Is that butter?
Is that supposed to be butter?
You know, it's probably, but I'm gonna guess probably not much anymore. The guy that built this house, his name was Kay,
Wait,
and they
who's
named
the guy
Kaysville
that
after him.
built the
He took an
house?
axe and put a K in the wood out there, so it's like his little brand.
Oh, that's neat.
But this is an old little place.
This is.
It would be hot in the summer,
Oh, for sure.
suffocating, and cold in the winter.
Yes.
That looks like a hand right there that's hanging off the wall.
Oh, you're right. That's where you keep all your you didn't have a drawer, so you kept all your cool kitchen stuff there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that one thing looks like a chopper. You also trimmed your fingernails with that. Roll them over.
Wow.
This is the laundry room, and this is where you wash your face. Looks like they have a few bees. Or look,
Oh, my goodness.
we have a lot of bees here. In the fall, this place just gets loaded with bees. It's also a helmet.
Wait, how did it get killed?
It gets hot in here, and they can't get out.
Yeah, there's bees on the bench.
We don't have anybody to ask anymore, but we thought maybe in the wintertime that would be a good place for the boys to sleep.
Yeah.
Summertime, they would probably sleep outside.
Let me see. Oh, that's right. Look at this. Look, here's their family history book. These are the family that lived in that cabin.
Look at that. That looks like a wedding dress. We just saw it. Mom.
We did?
Mom.
Yeah, we saw it.
Who's that cabin that's right there?
Hayden, these are old radios where they played music.
What? Mom, what's that? Are these bookmarks?
That's how they would take pictures of. No, you can't. You can't. That's an old camera. See this old camera? And they would take pictures on these, and then you would print them into little papers on paper.
My shoe thing fell
Oh, that
out.
happens to me sometimes. Oh, this is cute. Aww.
I think it's
Amazing. Look up here. Look up, Paisley. Look it up. What is that?
If you guys need any tour, or do you want to just look around?
Oh, if you have a couple things that are your favorite, feel free to
I
tell
have
us.
certain things.
Certain things.
Because
yeah.
there's so many.
There is.
You'd be here
So,
forever.
tell us what your favorite
Okay,
things are.
so when you're in this area, this big mural, you notice
Yeah.
this? That starts 1800.
Uh-huh.
And what grade are you in?
6.
You passed 4th grade, so you know the state flower. Come look at it.
Do you remember what it is? That's the seagull lily.
And the reason that that's a state flower is that when the pioneers came and they didn't have much to eat, they have teeny bulbs underneath the ground, the flour, and they would eat the bulbs. I guess there were a lot of those around at that time. So that's 1800s.
Wow.
And they came here, what, in 1869 or something like that? So then we have a period on this table. Did you look at that table?
Wow.
On that table, there's a big display of this
Okay.
resort. So we'll just go.
Wow.
There's old settlers, what
All of it, yeah.
had farms and stuff, and then
Was this out by Antelope Island?
straight down.
Straight down.
Yeah. Oh, it's
What was
so
this
interesting.
called?
It's the Syracuse Bathing Resort.
Oh my goodness, I didn't know. Wow.
Well, there's lots of things to tell about it over there. I'll tell
Okay.
you, wait, because there's pictures of it. And then this is 1900, 1850, 1800, 1900.
Okay.
And then we still have this service station here is the
Oh,
one
I've
that's
seen it.
just
Yeah,
right here. And then this market was just torn down where CBS is. That
Oh,
building
yeah.
that was there for
Was it a
so
video
long.
store at one
It was
time?
and
I've been in
and
there.
the man just passed away this week that used to run that video store.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he did. And then, in the 1950, we have, do you know who Rufus Willie would be? What's the name Willie? What's a big business in Syracuse?
Where you get furniture. Yeah.
That's Rufus Willie,
Which one?
the top
Oh,
one.
the top one.
And what school do you go to? What?
Sound Springs.
Sun Springs.
Sound Springs. It's just up it's in West Layton, right before Syracuse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So this is Joseph Cook, the Cook Elementary that's right off from Antelope
Oh.
Drive here between 1000 and 2000 is
Yeah.
Cook School.
Wow.
And then, what else? That was the fire chief.
Huh.
So anyway, that's kind of one of our... Supposed to be the, what's it called?
Loch Ness.
Yeah, the Loch Ness Monster.
Every lake has one.
In the Great Salt Lake. Mom, come see this table.
I remember before they were born, down Antelope, there was this little Mexican restaurant. And our friends owned it, and then they moved, and then it shut down. And it was just little tacos. It was just from where out west, on the way out to Antelope Island. It was just this little hole in the wall.
I don't remember it. What do
We
you
press
want?
the buttons.
Oh, is there a button to push?
There is, but we turn it off. If you promise just to push one and listen to
Okay,
it.
yeah.
Okay.
One time,
R.C.
okay?
Oh,
Willie.
it's already on.
R.C. Willie's first
Okay,
building,
right
built in
here.
Right there.
1950, was 20 by 30 feet. Rufus, R.C. Willie, started selling appliances out of his pickup truck in 1932.
Has a
Upon
light
his
in it.
death, his son-in-law, William Childs, took over as manager and expanded the company from what it was to what it is now. People would drive many miles to come to R.C. Willie's, where they enjoyed a warm, friendly atmosphere. They were always assured the lowest prices.
Do you know it's going to be
R.C.
torn
Willie
down now?
was and
This
is
summer.
open 6 days a week,
Clearfield.
but never on Sunday.
So
Mom
all-
Hanson writes,
all these
Rufus
were,
Willie came to our door
beet
years
dumps.
ago
They
and
used to
said
have a
to my
sugar
mother,
beet
Millie, I need your
business
help.
down here. The
I don't
railroad
have
would
room
come
in
and
my
pick up the
small
sugar
store
beets
for all the
and take them
refrigerators
up
I bought the
to
other
Tremont
day.
area.
By buying more than I have room
That's going
for
longer
in my
than-
small store,
That's
I
why we
can
don't
sell
push
them
along.
That's
for
why
less.
you don't push it.
Could I just put the fridge I have on my truck
happens when
in
you
your
don't
home
Oh,
for
'cause
a
he
few
talks for a
days,
really long
and you
time.
can use it until I have room for it in my store? Millie said, Rufus, I have an ice box, and I don't need a refrigerator. But Millie, couldn't you help me just for a few days, and you will enjoy the fridge? Well, okay, Rufus. The refrigerator never left our home thanks to R.C. Willie, a good man and a very considerate salesman. And Millie and her family did enjoy the fridge.
This is where our house was. We did. Someone turned down this farm, and now there's a big jump field and a road right here.
Is there?
And then
Freeway
a road that goes
eventually?
I
The
know.
freeway's like right here. Why couldn't we still live like this?
This would be great.
This is my favorite time to live because down here We used to have carnivals, ball games, band concerts, and then they would even take them. That's R.C. Willie's. That's the first one. Yeah.
Where's the mall?
See, this is a regular picture. This one I want to show you how it looked.
Oh.
Then, and then the train. See that train would come down?
Wow.
That's the same train.
Where's the mall?
Oh, mall isn't out here, honey.
Mall is way up in Layton.
So the water was higher back then? Much higher.
Yeah. Although they would take the people back and forth by, I think it was a little.
Where's the
wagon
old
with
cabin
horses.
that's outside?
The what?
Oh, that was in Kaysville, that little cabin, the wood wheelcocks.
Oh, no. It was from.
Oh, I think he said it started in Kaysville and then they moved
It may have, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, okay.
So it's right
That's what-
where?
Yeah, John knows more than I do. What?
So where is it?
Oh,
There's-
it would have been where it used to be, somewhere out
Where we
west.
are?
No. So this was
Oh, it's-
built before 1910?
This is 1876 to 1910.
That's how long it took him to build this?
No, that was
Oh.
the time period that it shows.
The model, I said, this is really nice to me. Okay.
Yeah,
that
that's
makes
the
sense.
period of
I
time that
see.
he's showing.
Okay, and then after that it changed. It
Oh,
started
yes.
changing.
Well, I wish we could like do that.
Well,
to
I'm
the
sure
train.
for
I wish we could move
76
the.
and
I wish we
1910.
could move the train with our fingers.
Wouldn't that be fun? I can't reach it.
I just saw that.
Okay, just
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
like the ones that we found in the cave.
It says, let's read it. It says,
What, Mom?
Syracuse salt. Oh, you can? Oh.
It's not real salt, it's water.
I want to have it.
You want to have one? You can all have one.
Come here, Tatum.
What's that green button that was long at the bottom?
He does. It's
Okay,
exhausting.
this, I'll let your mom see
Oh,
that.
yeah. Okay, look, Edison.
And
Photograph.
this is a wind up. It's not electric or
Thomas
anything,
Edison.
so you wind it up.
Look, Tatum.
Whoops.
This is
Turn
neat.
it on.
We had an old, newer version of something like this when I was a kid. It was my mom's, but it was probably from the 60s or yeah. That's
Fun?
Where's the sound coming out of? This is this the
Sound,
speaker
yeah.
here?
Wait, could I get under this?
No. Why would you want to?
You wanna? You,
What
What do you want to see?
Wait, can you like play that?
no,
You know, we really don't. It's
It breaks.
Well, we fixed it. They were kind of working on it. It's supposed to.
It's like an organ.
You have to make it play by the. I don't know. They said it was working, but I don't see it working.
It's not making sound.
They worked on it though.
So these are like the early version of CDs.
So this is kind of like a family room, like
Did
family
they
home
have
evening.
planes back then?
They have what?
Planes
Back
in the
then?
early 1900s. But
We don't have planes here. Have you been to the airplane museum up at Hillfield?
I have for a field trip.
Okay.
I have with my
That's a place to
with
go.
my grandpa's
planes.
that at Germany.
Oh, yeah. So anyway, we
this
have
is
an old.
entertaining.
This is an old zither. You know
oh,
what a zither is? This
oh
is-
my goodness.
It's like a guitar, and it was made. The first one was made in 1894 in Germany.
Really?
And this is a harmonica. They'd have, you know, the pioneers really loved music. Some of them would bring an organ. They
Wait.
brought this across the plains.
What's
In a
this?
covered wagon. Oh, those
Hold
are
on.
pictures.
That's a Viewmaster.
Hold on. You could touch that train
I
like
think it was
that.
like the one you were looking
Wait,
at.
you could
Yeah,
touch that
kind of
train
there.
that's on the table over there. Like
It's
this.
over there.
Like this. Move it.
No, no,
Oh.
don't let the train, honey.
Do you have a train at your house?
Yeah, our dad is building a train.
That's why you like it
Those
so
model
much.
trains, yeah.
Okay, so let's go as long as we're this close.
It's
We'll
a
go
train
this side.
that's at Germany.
And then maybe they'll like the uniforms we have. This is our men's side here. And we have we have a uniform at each of the services.
Wow.
Whoa, that looks like the
Oh, look, a
Titanic.
sailor. It reminds me of Cracker Jack.
Is that the Titanic?
The Navy uniform.
Yeah.
Is that the
The
Titanic?
Titanic.
Yep. And we,
What time is it?
Why, honey?
these guys had to wear it. Hold on to it.
Hey,
You got
is
it?
that the
Put it
Titanic?
on your head.
Heavy, honey.
And they had to wear that if it was cold or hot. That'd
Is
be
that the
miserable.
Oh my goodness.
That would, if they had bullets, they'd come and ricochet off from that.
Is that boat right there the Titanic?
No.
What is it?
It sure looks like it could be, huh?
Submarine, I think. Goes under the water, honey.
Oh.
And here's a plane. There's a pilot.
Why do all boats have to have red things on top of it?
Have what things?
Red things on top of the boat. That's not red. And you know that's red. I mean black
It must power it. Probably have you know, they burn wood or something like that. I don't know.
Wait, was the Titanic the only first boat back then?
The only first boat.
Oh,
He knows about Titanic. He's watched that, huh?
He has a Titanic in his room.
Oh,
It's his favorite thing.
Oh my gosh. All these men were in the service, and we say, hey, there weren't any young men left in Syracuse, just the old men and the old women.
Oh my goodness, that's the whole town right there.
Oh, I want to go to the dollar store finally.
This man is still alive. He's in his 90s.
You said next time, Mom? You
Next. No, meaning we're going there next, honey.
Oh, I thought she said next
No.
time.
Wow, interesting. I recognize a lot of these last names.
This one should be a police officer right here and that one right
Yes, and this man used to live in Syracuse, and he was a sheriff. And he was a sheriff, and he lived in Syracuse.
Wait, this one is hospital
And he was a
man?
fireman. He's the one that's up
Mom, I'm done wearing
that,
this.
that picture on that mural. Mia.
On the shelf around the corner.
And then they donated their guns
Wow.
and their handcuffs.
Oh my
And
goodness.
Wait, what did
see the handcuff
what
right
did-
there?
Oh, those are what
Those are
handcuffs.
real handcuffs.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wait, are these the stuff that they actually had? But then we just found it and put it in a museum.
Yep, there's the old scouting books. They'll be really out of circulation now. Then we have just a little display on different coins.
Tatum, look, this is old money, honey. That rhymes.
Yeah.
Old money, honey.
Give me the money, honey.
Mom, look at
Wow.
that.
Oh, look, cents was also on paper. 5 cents. It's on a paper bill. How funny is that?
3 cents.
3 cents. Wow. That is so funny.
And a $2 bill.
Interesting, huh?
Yeah, that's probably foreign money. That's
Oh, for sure.
Japanese.
Didn't Gabe used to have a $2 bill?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
remember
sure
that?
Gabe
We have a great.
Of the Book of Mormon.
Wow.
And
Look
that
at
was-
that's one of the very first Book of Mormon. Look, the first edition, the first print.
In
this one looks
1830. Oh, there's old books. Yes, we have a lot of those. We have to be really careful.
That would be neat to see what they wrote in theirs. Whoever owned that, their
Yeah.
notes they made, and I'm sure they wrote in them, right?
Yeah, yeah, probably is.
That's so
I
old.
never had it out of there. Annie, was there anything written in this Book of Mormon? I haven't even opened it. Dean's the one, huh? And he's not here. He could tell us.
Someday you'll have to look inside. Wow.
That one and this one right here looks like Johnson. I wish I could keep that train right there.
Look up here. These are
Paisley,
the old cars that
Paisley,
kids
this
would play
one,
with.
this doll looks like John Cena. Oh. That's
One of our volunteers' grandson's collection. She just borrowed it.
Oh, that's funny.
Look at how old this one is.
Well, I wish I could keep that.
Isn't that old?
That's what they used to play with a long time ago.
I wish I could keep it. It looks cool. And you just break it anyway.
You would break it.
I don't know. That's pretty
They made it
tough.
sturdy back then.
Yeah, they did. Definitely.
Tatum only throws his toys on the ground.
He likes to smash things and then put them
And
back
then we have games over here.
Oh,
Old games.
hey, it's that marble game.
Huh?
Wow.
What's that?
Card game. Are those teeth? What are those?
Yes, those
Is
are
that a
animal teeth.
dollhouse?
From,
Is that a dollhouse? Where did Bill serve his nation? Mongolia, I said it said. Yeah, from Mongolia.
Wow. Wow.
Wait, those are
Jacks, you can still buy those, I think, at the dollar store.
Yeah, you guys should play
Those
jacks
are so
sometime.
fun.
I have
I'll
that.
probably
Do you
take
have it?
Well, I lost
I
it.
did.
What
play
are
when I was little.
jacks?
It's a game.
But what does it
You
do?
like
Wait, these are
you
the
like
trains
bounce
that
the
kids
ball
ride
and then
with
you
us. That's what it looks like.
you shoot. There's like I forget. You try to grab as many as you can in between the ball bounces or something like that.
Oh,
And
it's
then
like,
you're-
there's like a Chinese game like that, and like you throw a stick in the air.
You
And
have
Mom, can you
onesies,
put this
you
in
have
your purse?
onesies and twosies. First you throw out one, and then you gather all the others but one in, and I don't know.
Mom, can you put this in your purse?
Sure. Yeah.
Is still robots dead? Yeah, I think
She's from Syracuse. I don't know her.
Huh.
We've had it since 2004.
That is tricky. They look like lampshades. Wow.
You got it? Okay, go sit down.
Sit down.
Let's see how
See if you can do
and how
it.
and how would you get in a car or in a wagon with those, huh?
That is too
Oh, you'd have to hold it down because your slip would go
And then you
up.
can see up your dress. That's funny. It's a tent.
Oh,
This could be a tent.
of course.
That's too funny.
Yeah, get it.
Oh, yeah, you almost got stepped on.